Have you ever noticed how some women don't flirt in loud or obvious ways? Instead, they quietly test your awareness. This is especially true if you're a man over 50. At this stage of life, women behave differently around you. They don't want to look needy. They don't want to seem too available. So rather than being direct, they ask certain questions. And what most men never realize is that when a woman feels attracted to a mature man, she will almost always ask two very specific things. It's like a message hidden right in front of you. Many men over 50 believe they've become invisible to women, whether younger women or women their own age. But the truth is very different. Mature men are often more attractive than ever once they understand how women actually think. The real issue isn't women. It's misunderstanding. It's moving through life thinking she was just being friendly when she was actually opening a door. Women rarely show interest openly. They test your emotional calm, your presence, and your ability to notice subtle details. Feminine psychology works quietly and indirectly. When a woman begins to see you as someone she could trust emotionally, physically, and intimately, her energy shifts. Her conversation moves from casual talk to intentional curiosity. She begins asking questions. Each one is designed to reveal your strength as a man, whether you are grounded or insecure, your emotional and practical availability, and your awareness, whether you can recognize real interest when it appears. Many men expect clear, obvious signals because they grew up in a time when people spoke more directly. But women today, even mature women, express attraction differently. They don't say, "I'm attracted to you," or "I want to get closer." Instead, they explore. They feel first. They ask carefully chosen questions to see if you're a man they can move toward without risking rejection. Especially with older men, there's a quiet fear. If she shows interest too clearly, she worries she'll seem desperate or needy. So she hides attraction inside curiosity. And if you miss it, she usually won't repeat the invitation. Women use questions the way men use actions. When a man is drawn to someone, he offers help, direction, or protection. When a woman is drawn to someone, she asks a question that gently hints at closeness. These questions aren't about collecting information. They're about connection. They're small emotional bridges placed carefully to see whether you step forward with presence. Most men answer these questions at face value. A grounded man hears what's underneath. When a woman feels drawn to you, she doesn't need impressive stories or displays of status. She needs to feel that you are present, emotionally steady, and aware. These questions matter because they are invitations. The first question reveals your availability, not your schedule, but your heart. She wants to know if there's emotional space for her in your life. It's her way of asking whether you're open or closed, whether closeness is possible. Many men miss this because it sounds like casual conversation. The second question reveals your direction. Not your job or career, but your inner direction. She wants to know if your life has purpose and stability. Women don't open emotionally to men who drift. They open to men who are anchored, men who know who they are and where they stand. These questions are especially important for men over 50 because many women assume you've already lived most of your emotional chapters. They hesitate to step into your world unless they feel they'll matter. These two questions are her way of checking whether there's space for her and whether your life is moving with intention. When a woman wants emotional or physical closeness with a mature man, she almost always asks these two questions. The first is often some version of, "Do you spend a lot of time alone?" It sounds innocent, but it's not. She's really asking if there's room for her, if you're emotionally open, if you're available or locked into habits. If she felt nothing for you, she wouldn't care how you spend your time. Most men answer this too literally. A more grounded response communicates openness without neediness. It shows that you enjoy your life but are open to meaningful connection. This creates warmth and emotional safety, which naturally leads to the second question. The second question is some version of, "What are you looking for these days?" This is never casual. It's deeply personal. She's asking whether you're drifting or intentional, whether you have clarity, whether you're open to something real. Many men fail here by sounding defensive or uncertain, or by oversharing in a way that feels needy. A grounded response feels calm and centered. It shows that you value connection, but only when it adds depth and peace. This energy makes women feel safe and seen. It shows that you know yourself, and that is deeply attractive. When women ask this second question, they're trying to understand your inner path. They want to know whether your life has purpose and direction, whether you're emotionally awake or just passing time. Men who answer with uncertainty often don't realize they're quietly closing the door. You don't need a long explanation. You only need direction. Simple clarity shows that you're moving forward, emotionally alive and grounded. It opens a space where she can imagine herself walking beside you. Women don't test men randomly. They test based on emotional readiness. The first question measures openness. The second measures direction. A man who is emotionally open and moving with purpose naturally creates attraction. Women don't need perfection. They need clarity, because clarity creates safety, and safety awakens desire. These moments aren't random. They're emotional checkpoints. Women almost never ask these two questions to men they feel nothing for. They ask them when interest is already present. A woman who wants intimacy won't confess it directly. She will ask if you are emotionally open and whether you are moving with intention. These questions aren't really about your plans. They're about your energy. When you recognize them, you stop guessing whether a woman is interested. You respond with awareness instead of confusion. Women don't test your words. They test your presence. Women communicate attraction in subtle, emotional ways, especially with mature men. They expect depth, emotional presence, and clarity. When a woman asks questions that touch your openness or direction, she's trying to feel your emotional world. She wants to know if stepping closer will feel safe, warm, and meaningful. When you answer with calm clarity, you stand out. Not because of what you say, but because of the energy behind it. You show that you are grounded, self-aware, and intentional.